I said, yo, me like got me up. I want to be live where I swear it, not easy. I've been rapping my own man, I'm yelling, my girl was doing, I'm breaking the profit. On my way, people calling me names, all the trouble I see, I ain't do at the peace. When those suffering, those sources, I can't pay the code, how I get paid. Sooner or later, my hustle pay. Never pay, and I'm rushing myself. Keep it cool, everything have a CC. Too much rushing, I'm probably chasing. One day. One day. I'll get it cool. One day, my
hustle gonna pay one day. Any mess they're gonna see my face. Me pa know and I watching me. One day, success gonna come my way. I know my hustle gonna pay one day. Any mess they're gonna see my face. Me pa know and I watching me. One day, success gonna come my way. Yeah. My mama was so worried. My papa was so worried. My friend was here money. Any mess that will come on and miss. So I'm my way. 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 I'm my I'm on my way to this person that looking for money. Looking for money, oh. Looking for money. I want to make my man happy. Want to make Baba happy. Want to make all my brothers and sisters to come around me.
Yeah, can't be the cool. Why you know you hustle? Why saying the book by the Genesis? Shall come at the fire, shall come at the power. I feel never be working on Wednesday. You must look for the mile, you must look for the map. All in the dark, all in the dark, all in the reach, all in the reach. All in the sun, the
mama was so worried.
My
papa was so worried. My friend was here money. Any mess that will come on and miss. So I'm my way. 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 I'm my way.
Amando, you are a famous star now. So what do you have to say?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Some people got problems with me calling myself Attorney Commander. They say, "Oh, you're not an American attorney?" Yes, I'm not an American attorney, but I'm a Liberian attorney. I'm not practicing law in Liberia. To be an attorney, to be called an attorney, you have to be admitted into a bar association. I'm a member of the Liberian Bar Association. I'm an attorney. Whether I practice in America or in Liberia or China or Germany or anywhere, I'm an attorney. So if it bothers people with me calling myself an attorney, they say, "Oh, you're not practicing in America." I've never projected myself or claimed to be practicing in America. Nobody can tell you that Rodney Chesson ever claimed to be practicing in America. I have pleaded for people in America, though. You can't go to court and be a lawyer for people, not a practicing attorney, but the court permits people to speak on behalf of people who can't do it for themselves. So you may not be a practicing attorney, but the courts gave people leeway to practice in the courts. I've been to court, I practice. I just don't care about it. I never cared about it in Liberia either. I'm a soldier. I've always been like that way in Liberia. I have my law degree. I was a policeman under my father. After the coup, I was National ID card director. I never had to go to court. All my cases, people would call me and say, "Oh, Chesson, well, when you be my lawyer," I said, who's the person you want to sue? They said, "Oh, so person." I said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll call them." I knew so many people in Liberia. I was a national star. I never had to go to court. People would call me with cases. I never took money from people. People would meet me in the street and give me money because I solved the problem. I didn't have to go to court. They came with problems with me, with other people, and I knew the other people. So I said, "Don't worry, I will handle it. I will talk to them." I would call the other person and say, "Hey, man, you got trouble with me, man?" They say, "Yeah, Chesson, man, this one." I said, "Man, I'm a boy. So just settle your grievances." And I was beefing with that. Weeks after, maybe a month or two after, people meet me in the street, they said, "Chesson, yeah," shake my hand with $200, $300. And I look at it, they said, "My man, you solved my case. Thank you." I didn't ask them for money, but I did them a favor. So that's how my cases went. I never had to go to court. I never read it. I knew people. So there were ways of solving problems. My law practice came from teaching the law and teaching classes and things. That's practicing law. I didn't have to go to court. I didn't have the time, really. I do a lot of things. So my commander, I'm a Liberian commander. I was a commander in Liberia of the police at the Liberian Special Security Unit at the OAU. I was a training official. I'm a soldier. My training in the U.S. military surpassed most of the training of the Liberian military. I'm a commander. So if people feel some kind of way because I call myself a training commander, don't feel that way. I struggled in my life to earn my training and education. I deserve it. If we are in court and say doctor, and all the things, why can't I call myself a training commander? Check yourselves before you wreck yourselves. Okay? And many of you know I'm an attorney. I don't go around putting it on my head. I never did. I've taught in Liberia. I taught law at the Zion Academy. I taught business law. I've taught in Blue Island here. I taught Black history and criminal justice. So I'm a teacher. It's just that I'm more of a lecturer. I don't like the hectic thing of going down and fixing plan and all these kind of things. I just like to go there on my schedule, pass it around, and lecture. So let's get into my topics today. Transforming Liberia to meet the challenges of developing Liberia today. We got a lot of challenges. What we see we are then doing, that small children thing. Look at our country. Look at that hell of a mess in our city. We got to clean our city. If we don't clean our city, our country will die. That's the first thing we have to do. I traveled to 1 or 2 African countries. I seen the same trash problem. Even the Sierra Leone prison. Y'all been to Sierra Leone? There's a whole river in Sierra Leone that is dead. That river is dead. all kind of toilet tissue, all kind of thing in the river. When I saw that river, my skin started creep in the heart of Freetown. There's another part in the heart of Freetown, they're burning the dirt. Just like Liberia, the trash has overwhelmed that part of the city, that every day fire going on, they're burning the dirt. And we would be the same way if we don't have the right leadership and direction in our country. And let me tell you something, my people. We've come a long way as a people and a nation. We come a long way. We struggle too hard, man. We make things hard for ourselves. But our nation is young. When you think about Liberia, as old as I am when I think about my country, I just think from Tubman time. Because Tubman overshadowed everything that was before him, that came before him. He overshadowed everything with his 30 years of leadership. All we knew was Tubman. I told you at 12 years old, I didn't believe Tubman could die. When I heard Tubman was dead, my young mind could not adjust to that thing. Can Tubman die? Our whole country was perplexed. And my people, only under a monarchy is the country supposed to be like that. Because in 1970s, when Tubman died, you could see that our country had no leadership. For hours, nobody came on the radio. There was just music playing. The whole country was confused when Tubman died. That was the beginning and the foretelling of our problems to come today. Because even as young as I was, man, it was mind-boggling that Tubman could die. And in my young mind, there was still a gap. Who will replace Tubman? I mean, I really didn't think about that in those political terms because I was a child. At that time, I was just about 12 or 13 years old when Tubman died. But I had been in this Boy Scout. I opened the door for Tubman one time. They had this big program at the Centennial Pavilion, and I was there in my Boy Scout uniform. I was the only scout on the scene. I just loved this military and scouting, so I was there in my Boy Scout uniform, young guy, man. And all the security people around there treated me with respect. And they saw me walking around and they were looking. Most of them knew me as Chesson's son, as a young person. A lot of them knew me. But the rest that didn't know me just showed me respect because I was there in my Boy Scout uniform, doing duties, moving the chairs around, doing things, helping around. So when I heard the motorcade coming and the president is coming, I ran outside to see the president. So as soon as I got outside, when the president parked right in front of the Centennial Pavilion, in front of the monument where you see, when they show the Centennial Pavilion, they always show that monument with the people in the monument, like that. He parked right in front of that monument. And when he parked there, one of the security guys turned to me and said, "Go open the door for the president." And I went there and opened the door for the VAT. And when I opened the door, I gave him my Boy Scout salute, my 3 fingers. VAT looked at me and he responded with 3 fingers and put his head. I kept moving and I closed the door back. And that was the highlight of my young life. I opened the door for that. But those just go to show you, those are examples of patriotism. Where it starts when you're small, serving your country, serving your people. That's why when I talk about Liberia, it brings tears to my eyes when I think about my country today and I think about my service to my country from baby to this very day. I was a Boy Scout. And why did I leave the Boy Scout? Because my mom came from America, came with a bourgeois mentality, saw me in church directing traffic, saw me in one Boy Scout troop doing my tasks, learning how to tie ropes and things like that. My mom came and started talking about, "Oh, that's good thing. You don't be learning that good thing." Oh man, embarrassed me. And she never let me go back to my Boy Scouting. But most of the people in Liberia consider Boy Scouting to be something for grown-up boys. But I knew better. I knew the pride and prestige I felt as a Liberian Boy Scout. My task was to direct traffic at church, make sure all the cars parked good, then go in the church and help with the church duties, pass around pamphlet, move chairs around for people if the church is packed. That's my duties. And people who were in the bourgeoisie realm, the big shots in our country, didn't understand these things of our young society. And those are some of the things I got to go resurrect in Liberia because we need it for our national development. So let's look at our country now. What are some of the challenges we got to meet for our country today? First of all, our young people got to get their minds correct. Yeah, I put in my notes, I said they got to grow up fast. There's no time for foolishness and childishness and deceitfulness, the deceitful practices of our parents. We can't do that in a revolution. Our revolution that we're resurrecting from 1980 must be on solid ground. It must be a true revolution for the Liberian people. Many people have died in our country since 1980. Many people have deceived us since 1980. Many people have robbed us since 1980. Many people have murdered us needlessly since 1980 to perpetrate their own interests and tribal zeal or whatever it is. But our people have suffered, man. All of us have suffered. Look at our nation right now, we're divided. We're talking about Liberians coming home as foreigners to be naturalized. Changing our constitution to deny other Liberian citizens in the diaspora the opportunity of claiming their right to be president in Liberia. So they make the laws to block us from coming home and say we're not citizens of Liberia no more. But all these deceitfulness, those people are dead now. They will meet their punishment. You can't kill our people for nothing. We are a spiritual people. From the day we're born, we are spiritual. We taught about Jesus. We taught about juju. We talk about all kind of spiritualism thing we talk about. We are a spiritual people. And everybody got their own voodoo, their corner they go to their voodoo. Some people go to church. But there are very few people that really are Christians in our country that don't do no voodoo, that don't follow no juju, that only believe in Jesus Christ. We are very few. Because if you don't have that mental capacity to understand the history and life and teachings of Jesus Christ and how significant it is to us that propels Jesus Christ to the Holy Trinity. Jesus Christ is not God. He's not God by himself. He's powerful. If you believe in him alone, he is powerful. He is God-like, but he is not God. Because Jesus didn't tell us he's not God. He got to go back and mix with the Father and the Holy Ghost that he will send to us to minister to us. So Jesus alone is not God. Jesus goes up and combines with the Father and the Ghost, and they become the Holy Trinity. That's God. For us Christians, the Holy Trinity is God, not Jesus Christ alone. Jesus Christ alone is powerful. You pray to him, he will answer your prayers. But it can only go so far and no more because he's not the supreme being alone. So we got to understand our God. Many of us pray to Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jesus Christ is powerful, but he's not the Holy Trinity. I'm not condemning Jesus Christ because he's my God. He's still a part of the 3-in-1, the Godhead. But if we just pray to him alone, he alone is not God. He will answer us. He will come to our comfort. But that's about all he will do. He will come to our comfort because we call him, and he is the comforter. He is the light. He will come and comfort us, but he will not take us any further because he alone is not the Godhead. The Godhead is the Creator, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Ghost. So therefore make the 3 in 1. The Creator sent Jesus Christ on this earth to learn with us our sorrows, our sufferings, our ills, our everything with us that bother us. That's why Jesus went through all the sufferings, all the problems, all the tribulations that men will go through. He went to the worst extreme to learn and have that in his Godhead. And when he died and resurrected, he took all of that into the heavens and mixed with the Creator and the Ghost. So that's for us Christians, that's our God, the Holy Trinity, 3 in 1. So we got to understand all these things impact us. It impacts us. You see? Because even though the Holy Trinity is more profound in the Catholic Church, it's also more profound in the Episcopal Church, in some of the Protestant churches. But they're more geared on Jesus Christ. There's more focus on Jesus Christ rather than the Holy Trinity. But that's the true God, the 3 in 1. So when we understand our God, that the first challenge we have as Liberian people, understand where we stand in our Christian faith. Then we move on to growing in our mentality. We cannot change our country if our whole citizenry are nothing but immature children, are nothing but idiots. We can't change our society like that. Those that are conscious must reach out to those still unconscious and try to conscientize them to the revolution. In order to change our country, we must be one in mind, in body, and in spirit. It's not impossible. Look at America today. Many of us who survived never thought that there could be a coup d'etat in America. It happened last year. It happened last year. To the shock and dismay of many of us. So nothing is impossible. Don't think that anything is impossible. Everything is possible. Only God prevents certain things from happening and keeps us on course. So that's the first thing in our revolution. We got to know where we stand spiritually. And that's why I keep telling you people, don't be forced to change from your tribal gods. That's not the will of Jesus Christ, to come and change you radically from who you are. No. His job is to teach you, to willingly accept what he's teaching you. That's why he accepted death on the cross, because Jesus could have prevented it. But that was the will of the people. And he followed the will of the people. He said, you won't kill me? I accept it. But you're losing a leader. You're losing a king. And many of us realize that. That's why we have so many Christians, his name never died. And will never die. And our world will not die until every human being on this sun knows about the name of Jesus Christ. So when people talk about, oh, the world will end this way, no. Everybody got to know the name of Jesus Christ before this world expires. And that ain't happening just now. Because there are so many tribes out there who don't even want to hear the name. You never heard the name of Jesus Christ. Still in our world today. So we got a lot to learn. And the revolution must start with us. That's why our revolution in 1980 cannot die. It hasn't died. It's just been suspended because our people lost their minds when they saw the opportunity to get wealth, the opportunity to lead their people, to be leaders in a society that they've never been leader in. They went berserk. And that's what we are today. Everybody want to be leader. Everybody want to take over. Everybody want. So we're coming from the tribal lines because everybody can't be leader of a united Liberia. We can only have one president. We have no at a time. So nobody wants to wait. Everybody wants to be leader. So they're coming from the tribal line. Or let's divide the ministry. Give the tribe this ministry. It can't work. It has never worked. It will never work. Our country is one nation and one people. And if we don't understand what that means, we will never be able to build our country. Because everybody will be pulling here and pulling there, wanting to do what they want to do. And that cannot happen in a progressive, unified, and stable nation. That can't happen. Because all of those things create instability. When everybody won't be a leader, everybody won't be a leader, and everybody cannot be a leader at the same time. That destroys our country. Patriots, people who love our country, understand that. And that's why they understand there are so many avenues in our country for leadership. Everybody of the revolution is a leader. Everybody of the revolution, excuse me, I used my napkin earlier. So everybody of our revolution is a leader. We got millions of people that need to be taught. All our people cannot be taught in the classrooms. They cannot be taught in the classroom. And that's why it is important for us to understand the concept of leadership in our revolution. All of us are leaders. Why? We are patriots. We protect the goals of building our nation. We have patriotic goals and zeals, ideals. We have all these things. We don't have to search or wonder what our patriot. All of us know we got to stop corruption. That's the biggest killer in our country. We got to stop stealing. We got to stop dishonesty. We got to stop untrustworthiness of our people. We got to ensure that our people understand that your words are significant to the development of our nation. We can't have liars and deceitful people on our democracy, people with no integrity. So let me continue on my path. We got to grow up. Changing mentalities is a priority. We got to change the minds of our people. We got to come out of the tribal living and come into the real life living and understand that our society is greater than any tribal nation in our country. Our overall society must be stronger than the tribes and the lineages and villages around us. And how do we accomplish that? We must grow our mentalities. For those of us who are enlightened and understand what it means to be patriotic Liberians, for those of us who have organizations, this thing got to come out of the University of Liberia. It can't come out of nowhere else because the university's children are the vanguards to changing our nation. You people are the catalysts. If you don't do these things, our country will not change. I remember when I was on Cottington, as many of the people who knew me, someday I would just get up, take my basketball and my dress, jump in a pickup, and just go to a village. Any village, I would just go and say, stop here. I would just stop in the village when I see a basketball rim and court. I would just stop there, get up that day, go there, play basketball with the children. When you see the way I play, you say, whoa, whoa, because I'll play with them and show them the different styles, go up there, stuff in the thing, teach them how to play. When they see that, the whole mentality of that village changed. And I used to do that all the time. Sometimes I just get out and say, I go this. I would say, which way I go? Am I going toward Monrovia or am I going toward Nimba? I would choose where I want to go. And I would just jump in the thing with my basketball, with my African gown, because I got a short trousers and sneakers, and just drum in the pickup. And we just go, ask people on Cotton Number Chesson. That's how you do. just get my pick up and go. I see a basketball court in any village. I tell the picker, stop here, put me down here. I get down. I stay there with the kids, play basketball for 2-3 hours with them, show them different styles. And you can't imagine how the kids used to be happy. They used to be so happy. And because I come, they would have a nice basketball court, but none of them can play good. And I would get up there, I would start stuffing, shooting, showing them the different style. Then we'll say, let's play a game. All of us would get in there, so now all of them would jump out against me. I would play them and still beat them. And they look fine when they do. I mean, when you coming back? When you coming back? When you coming back? And I would tell them, I say, well, when I know, but I would just come. Because I had to go different places. And through our class on continent, our freshman class, most of us were from St. Patrick's. The whole St. Patrick basketball team went to continent, and all of our freshmen. So what we did, we decided to travel all over Liberia to play, especially up country. That people know me up country. We used to go to Zozo, Lofa, Bassa, Nimba to play basketball, and we beat every high school because we were freshmen. We couldn't represent continent. So all the high school, when they heard that there was a high school there was a freshman class from Cotton going around playing people, many of the schools up country were writing us, challenging us to come up there to play them. I think we went to Lofa twice. We went to Nima once or something. We went to Bassa. I think those were the 4 places we went because we had to pay our own way. The school didn't give us money, so we had to raise our own money to go because we're just a class, the freshman class. So we should do our own bidding and raising our own money to go do these things. So that was part of nation building. That was part of nation building because this was not a government initiative. This is our class. We got together and we wanted to play basketball. We were limited to play on the campus only. We couldn't limit ourselves. We said, look, we can play other places. We came from high school, all of us played together on the high school team. Why are we sitting now here playing basketball only on the Cotton campus? Let's rent a bus and go to Bassa and go to Nimba and go to Lofa. And that's how we started traveling with our own money. And this is the essence of the revolution. Those that know must be sacrificial in their endeavors to help our brothers rise to the next level. If we don't do it, our country will not rise. That's why we got to grow up in our minds. We got to become mature, especially our University of Liberia children. Instead of you going around with their munya thing, trying to fight the government, there are different ways we can do that. And at the same time, reach out to people in our various outreaches in our counties to teach. We got colleges in almost every county now. But our young people got to get mature. You got to understand we're in a revolution. And the revolution demands that young people respond to the revolutionary zeal and rise up and teach the less fortunate. We cannot let our brothers fail. The Zokos and all those things should not be existing in our country if our revolution were on the right course. It's not about government. It's about us. When they killed my pa, it hurt me. But they were casualties of the revolution. No revolution can be successful without casualties. You see, no revolution can be successful without casualties. Because if people got to go to jail, if people got to be hurt, there got to be casualties. Right now, our revolution today, there will be casualties because people have betrayed us. People have hurt us. People have killed our people with impunity. And it can't go on. Excuse me. It can't go on. We got to take the initiative to change our country and move on. I can't find. You'll bear with me 1 minute, please. We got to take the initiative to change our country and put our society on the right trajectory. Oh, yes, you're my and put our country in the right trajectory. Because if we don't, everything we stand for will mean nothing. And we can't continue like this. We cannot continue like this. You know, you gotta excuse me because I'm speaking from my soul. I've always spoke from my soul. Because I have no reason to lie to you people. I'm a child of the struggle even before the struggle. So I understand these things. And when I talk about changing my country, it's sincere. And I'm making it up because I want position. If I want a position, I would have been with Ellen Thomas, Sally, and Bernard Hewitt, and all of that. You think they didn't want me? But some people want me to work for them. I'm talented. But I don't just give my talent away like that. You know? People want to use their talent to promote their own interests. And that is not what I'm here for. My interest is to promote the masses of the Liberian people. And we can only do that through conscious actions that are not politically oriented, basically, but socially directed for the best interests of our people. You know, you can't be avoid of politics in anything. Politics in everything. Once you disagree and you argue and you have different points of view, that's politics. But what destroys things is when you let the politics override or outweigh the financial benefits that the organization needs to exist. Politics, excuse me, I got 2 napkins here. Politics cannot override economics. You need money in everything you do. If you dwell with politics like we've been doing all our lives, we'll always be beggars. Because politics gives you nothing but trouble and headaches. What really benefits us is our economic interests and direction. What are we doing to let the economic zeal of our people override the politics and the disagreement and the arguments? That's politics. We don't need all of that in the revolution. We don't need all the stealing, all the lies, people going to Nima for retreat. Where will benefit our country? That's why I don't want to deal with anything in Liberia right now, because it can't help our country. Nothing or nobody in Liberia right now can help Liberia. The Boka, the Cummings, none of them. Because when they come in with politics, they want run our country for political interest, and their objectives ab initio in the first place is bad. Because people come together, they're rotten apples. They can't even sit to the table to talk like men. How would they lead our country now? Either one of these groups, any one of them, when they take over our country, how are they going to lead our country? They can't sit together as men and disagree to agree to come out with one decision for the benefit of all Liberia. They can't do it. How would any one of them be able to work with anybody else in our society to change our country? It can't work. It can't work. The deceitfulness in our country has permeated the blessings that God has bestowed on us. We are blessed, but we are deceitful. And all of this comes from Tottenham time. It comes from Tottenham. Tottenham made our society deceitful, liars, and treacherous to each other. We can't trust nobody among our society. Tottenham made us like that. We hear PRO and spies on each other and the tribal interests. All these things did not develop our country the way it should have been developed. But we can do it. We can do it. Nobody got to do it for us. We can do it, but we got to change our mentalities. We got to want to change Liberia. We got to go back to 1980 revolution. It doesn't matter who got killed. You know, I be talking to people, oh, how you gonna do that? That Doe was not the man that brought up the Liberia revolution. Doe didn't know nothing how to bring up revolution. Yeah, Marcus then started it, and the people followed. But the intentions were not good. It was selfish. They wanted to use they wanted to use our Liberian people. Somebody coming from Liberia. They wanted to use our Liberian people to propel their own interests over the Liberian people's interests. They were deceitful. The same thing that came from Tuckman and Tobo. Many of our people deceitful because that's the way our country is. Look at you. You can't trust most of the people in Liberia right now. They will lie to you. You all know that. Look at your own relatives. You send them money, you go home to Liberia. They think we go home for long. People be sending money home to relatives. They go home, the relative finish using their money for something else for themselves. And say, to hell with those people, man. They live in America. It been going on for long. It's just that after the war, it just got more profound. Plenty of people started doing it. You couldn't trust nobody no more. To send money home to say, do this, let's do this. You got to come yourself. Lay the foundation. Even at that, you can't turn it over to nobody. You come home, the people be claiming your thing to be theirs. You know, it's a trust. Many of us want to do things in Liberia, but who do you trust? Who you send money to be trustworthy? People see small a penny, they go crazy. There are very few people you can trust. There are very few people you can depend on to do what we need to do. And when you find those kind of people, you are blessed. You are blessed. Because many people in our society can do things for our country. We don't have to depend on the government. But who do you trust? Who when you really send money to do things and rely on them to do it? Big money. People see that in this abscond. They run away. They do things they don't want to call you no more. You know? And that's why we're holding our country down. So we got to grow our mentality. That's the first thing. We got to change our thinking. How we think of each other. How we think of our country. How we think of what the future of our children should be and must be. Then when we finish with that, as patriots, we are all leaders of our revolutionary goals. We are all leaders of our goals. What are our goals? To stop corruption, to stop rampant stealing, to bring integrity to our government and our country. That's our goal. Only three things. Stop corruption, stop the stealing and the corruption of our society, and bring integrity to our government. Now, what is integrity? What is integrity? Quality of being honest, having strong principles, and moral uprightness. That's integrity. When we bring those things into our government and our country, then we see things will change. Things will change because we cannot attack corruption. We cannot attack the evils in our country unless we know what it means to our revolution, to have integrity in our people, in our country, in our ideals, in anything we want to do. We got to be truthful. And if we don't be truthful, it will not change our nation. Because everybody want to be leaders in our country and nobody knows the principles of leadership. These are the principles of leadership. So I'm not teaching you here for people to go talk politics or to think I want to be a political leader. No, I'm teaching the things you need to know as a Liberian that must be instilled and embedded in your minds and your heads to make our country a more viable and progressive nation. Because if we don't teach our people the right things we need to know, our country will never grow. Everybody will think the president can change our country. Everybody think the legislature can change. None of those people can change our country. We got to change our country ourselves. They can be your leaders and your fellow people will die. Our country will die. Because none of them telling you all the things I'm telling you. It's not the people who lead us. It's the ideals that they instill in us that will make us progressive and great Liberians. So all the people who falling to be leaders, they got nothing to give us. What they gonna give us? Where Prince Johnson will give us? Where Edwin Snow will give us? Where George Weah they will give? They got nothing to give us. We need leaders who are not so much imbued with ambitions of being president. No, we need leaders who will teach us about our revolutionary goals, what we need to do to rise up, and while we're rising up, raise our country to the next level. Because our country down to the ground now. The political leaders can't help us. You don't see me running for positions of voting. That thing ain't even crossing my mind. Because as Liberia is today, our country, we can't help our country. We got to understand what it means to be a Liberian, what it means to have integrity in ourselves and in our country, what it means to honor our democracy and our rule of law. Then we are talking about a new Liberia, a new direction for our country and people. But everybody talking about running for position, running for this. That's not the direction our university children are supposed to be going in right now. You people are the vanguards for positive change in our country. You are the catalysts to stir up everything, to make things change fast. And if you're not conscious of where you stand, if you're not conscious of our revolution and why we need to resurrect it, you just go around mooning, just fighting for all kind of frivolous bullshit. Our country will fail. And you will fail too because you're the future of our country. And look at you, you're still behaving that the people from top town running around in khaki with all kind of handkerchief around you, talking about moonia, sounding like idiots. You sound like idiots. Because modern college students do not talk jargon and stupid militant shit you're talking. You sound like idiots. If you want to talk to me like an intellect. Don't come here with Don't come to me with that kind of stupid thing. Let's sit down and discuss things that idiot, that educated people, the people who want to change our country. Why you all that yelling and munya? What you do for us? You just disrupt the people from speaking. The man speaking, you're doing all that munya, we lost trend of what the man talking because of that foolishness you're doing. That's things from top time. That things from top time, you're still doing it today. Your mentality is screwed up. You're not ready for the new revolutionary changes that will come to our country. You're not ready for it. You got to be ready for it. And to be ready for it, you got to stop all that stupid munya, militant, stupid shit. You'll find intellects to lead you, man. Because you people are the vanguards. You people are the catalysts for change in our country. And if you people, your ideals of change is on a Toba regime, you people are dummies. You people are idiots. And our country will never change because you are the future of our country. You are the young intellects in our society. And if you do not understand who you are, how can you make the rest of our society understand who they are? You are lost, University of Liberia student. You're lost. You're living on a table with your munya, militant, stupid shit. You better change that stuff. You better wake up. That stuff will not help you. That stuff is outdated. And you're outdated too, just like our government. Everything in Liberia is outdated. That's why I don't deal with the government or anything. What would I tell people who don't understand what I'm saying? I can't say nothing to George Weah. I'm above him. I can't say nothing to Prince Johnson. I'm above him. I can't say nothing. No, when I say above him, I work hard for what I got. I work hard for what I got. I'm not a warlord. I'm not a war killer. Prince Johnson and time finished. The war is over. Why we got warlords and all we war criminals leading our country today? Why everything in our country is still war? All these people time are finished. Why we got them over us and honoring them and calling them honorable? Prince Johnson is no damn honorable. He's a killer. That man belong out of our government. Boldly. All these criminals in our government belong out of our government. But we're honoring these people and killing our revolution. They're killing our revolution. They don't want to hear about our revolution of 1980 because they're the very people that stepped on it. And they're still stepping on it because they are full of greed and corruption and lies and treachery and dishonesty, this hopelessness and failures. We are the new people of our nation. We must rise up and understand what it means to change our country, to change the mentality of our people, to make us patriots, willing to die for our country's resurrection and change. We can't continue to do this. So, what are the traits of integrity that we need to know? One is respect. Respect for our institution. Respect for our society. Respect especially for one another. The revolution starts with that. Respect for each other. With this Congo country, all these indigenous differences we have, we can't stop it. But we can't let it override our national interests of unity and solidarity among each other. We can't let it override that. So respect for each other, for our institution of government, for our republic and nation, is primary to everything in our society. And we must honor that. What's the next one? Generating trust. Look at our society. Nobody trusts each other in our society. That's why our country got so damn rogues and tribal people leading us. Because we're so divided on tribal lines, on sectional lines, on Christian and Muslim lines and animist lines. We're so divided on so many irrelevant lines. Things don't even matter to us. We're divided on them because of the immaturity and the level of the mentality of our society. That's why we got to start off with growing up our minds, teaching our people that they are patriots and they have a goal and a mission other than just being Zogos and just sitting down and doing nothing. We shouldn't have no Zogos in our country because those kids are educated too. Some of them got degrees and things. They shouldn't be sitting down smoking weed and shouldn't wasting their lives. We got to get those people up and send them up country to teach, to carry on the revolution, to change their lives so they can change the rest of the people's lives in our society. So we got to generate trust in each other. It got to start from the top. It got to start from the top. Those that want to lead us must be able to exemplify trust among themselves and among our people. That comes from respect. Once you start with respect, respect will lead to trust. Because when you respect me, and I know you respect me, I honor your respect, I will not lie to you. I will not want to lose that sense of respect. That will generate trust when we respect each other. And I know that your word is your bond, and you know that my word is my bond. When you tell me something, I mean it. When I tell you something, I mean it. Generating trust. Pride is the next one. When we generate trust among ourselves, we generate pride and dignity in everything we undertake to do. Because we know it will be in the best interest of our society, of our group, of our nation as a whole. Then responsibility. Once we generate trust, it comes with a duty of responsibility. Because why would I trust you if I can't give you things to keep, or you can't give me things to keep, or I can't believe you when you tell me do this or do that? So with trust comes responsibility. Because you trust me, you put responsibility in my hand more. You say, "Oh, Chesson, I trust you can do this. You're educated, do that." So responsibility comes with trust. Because when we respect each other, we generate trust, we have pride and dignity in whatever we do, that will lead to responsibility. Because for us to keep maintaining pride, we have to have somebody responsible among us, or all of us must be responsible to maintain that respect, that trust, that pride that we have already generated. What's the next one? Keeping our promise. Making your word your bond. When you say, "I will do this," do it. If you can't do it, tell the people, "Yeah, I can't do it." If you think you can do it, but you're not sure, say, "Look, I'm not promising you I will do it, but I will try." And you must make an honest effort to try. You must make an honest effort. That's all you tell the people, "I will try," and try. Keep your promise. What else? Helping others. There is nothing honorable people do that does not involve helping others. That's the duty of life. You got to pay it back because somebody helped you to be what you are. None of us achieve what we are without people helping us. So once we achieve something, we will understand always that it's our responsibility to help others, to reach out to others and give them the same kindness. They call it paying it back that was shown to us without any need for conditions or payment or anything. So how do you measure integrity? We measure integrity when you do things that are right and good, even when there is nobody there to see you. That's how you measure integrity. My class is done for the day. I did 1 hour here almost, and it's time for me to take a leave. We'll continue with our classes tomorrow. Be here on time, because time is a total command of Glapohkpa Chesson's main course of standard. Aluta continue. I'll see you all later tomorrow. Bye-bye, people.